Good early, everyone. It's Wednesday, October 2nd, 2024. Dr. Yaffa, this question comes from one of our subscribers, and thank you to the person who submitted the question. What do you think of the conflict between the new arrivals and the people who have always been here in America, especially in our communities?
Oh, darling. You know what? Let me take everybody back to Martin Luther King's 1960 I Have a Dream speech. And this is specifically for the melanin rich people of America who have been here for generations, grandparents, great grandparents, great great grandparents. Your people were here during Jim Crow. Your people were here during slavery. Your people were here during the uh, uh, Trail of Tears, where people were marched to Oklahoma. You know what I'm saying? Your people were here as freedmen and during the freedmen wars and the freedmen battles and things of that nature. Your people have always been here, and your birth certificate say Negro or used to say Negro or colored and things like that. Your people have been here, and your ancestors told you who you were. What did Martin Luther King say to my people who are melanin rich, who currently we're so divided with this split? Some of us are calling ourselves Black Americans, Negro, colored, Afro Americans, African Americans, FBA, Foundational Black Americans, ADOS, American Descendants of Slavery, Moorish Americans, and all these other types of things. They're calling them Hebrew Israelites. All of these things that we're calling ourselves, we're melanin rich, and some of us have lost some of our melanin for whatever reason, but we've always been here. You may very well be those things, at least to yourself and in your mind. But there's one thing we have to remember, and that's what Martin Luther King said. We have become refugees in our own country, our country, our country. This is our country. We are indigenous to Americas by blood heritage. We are heirs to America by blood. And there are no protections in place for any of those things you call yourself, even though the Moorish Americans say they stand under some resolution. I forget the number, resolution, maybe resolution one or whatever, whatever. Do you know there is a whole book of laws, several books actually, in the United States Code that were written for the heirs of America? And as an heir to America, you can't call yourself those things. You can be those things, you can call yourself those things, but don't stand on that when you're looking for your governmental protections. Because remember, again, the government doesn't give, governments take, or they protect and secure something. That's all they do. Because your mind is supposed to be governed by the most high creator of all things that everybody keeps calling God. So even Native American is not who you are. That's someone else. Remember, the month of November, which is almost a little more than 30 days from now, the first day of November is the first day of American Indian Heritage Month. Last year, I believe it was November 25th, was Native American Heritage Day. I do believe that this year, November 29th, is Native American Heritage Day. Why American Indian Heritage Month and Native American Heritage Day? Because they're two distinctly different groups of people. I keep trying to tell my people they're two distinctly different groups of people. And there are a couple of people out there, and I'm going to provide you their platforms in a minute. And to both of you, I am honored by your work. No, I have not had an opportunity to see everything that you have done, but I've been aware of both of you for quite some time. I just subscribed to both of your channels within the last 7 to 14 days, I believe. But everybody's going to know about you too before I'm done because I'm sick of it. I am sick of our people talking about who we aren't and who we are and arguing back and forth with one another. And I'm more sick of imposters and invaders and foreigners going back and forth with our people talking about who we aren't and who we are. So I'm going to give y'all two platforms before this is over, which will be down in the links below, that for anybody, no matter who you are, what color you are, where you're from, whether you're legal, illegal, a pilgrim new or a pilgrim from way back when, whether you came on the boats, planes, or ran across the border on foot, I could care less. I'm going to give you two content providers that give you all the proof and evidence you will ever need, along with receipts. We got people out there that talk good like me. I'm a speed reader. I read very, very quickly. And over the years, I've read a lot. I've read a lot of books. I've got a lot of books, and I've read them all. I am not Bobby Hemmett, another great provider of information. I can't tell you, oh, you know, it was by such and such an author on in a book called so and so and so on page such and such, right in the middle, or two paragraphs. That ain't me, okay? I can paint a broad picture for you, a broad stroke, big picture. And it's up to you or someone else to provide the specifics to validate that what I'm saying is true or not, or to disprove what I'm saying as a falsehood. Why? I don't know everything and you don't know me. I could be a paid lying agent for all that you know. You don't know me like that. Don't believe anything I say. Assume and presume that I am a liar and that I'm paid to lie, because the fact is, most of the people you see on the public platforms, the entertainers, the actors, the singers, some athletes, even politicians and law enforcement, they are agents and paid actors, and they are here to deliberately mislead and misguide you into calling yourself these things that will provide you no protections. Okay? Africa, America, my behind. Where is that? The only thing that you should be calling yourselves, especially after Martin Luther King told you that we are refugees in our own country. Our own country. He told you. A lot of you, your ancestors told you, well, you know, great so-and-so and so was an Indian. Such and such and so-and-so was an Indian. You heard it. Most of our people heard it, but for whatever reason, it didn't register and it didn't click. Back in the day, they had some copper-colored gal, my copper-colored gal. They even had a copper romance magazine, and I've seen this years ago, but I'm going to give this to one of the platform content providers, because I looked at one of his videos the other day and I'm like, oh, that's right. Oh man. Now, you know, y'all know I don't share videos with hardly anybody anymore. Nick gets stuff from me like all the time. I've been cursed out so much and put in check so often about sharing things with people that they don't want to know, they don't want to hear, or they want to clap back and snap back at me. I don't share anything. But this video, I had to share it with everyone. And as a result, it's like, you know what, Yaffa, it's time for you to subscribe, and it's time for you to share the platform with everyone. But the only things that you need to call yourselves, why we have to unify under one banner. It's kind of like Choctaw Chief, oh, what's the sister? Warhorse said, my people have been so split up. You know, first we were American Indians, and then we were coloreds and Negroes, and then we were black, and then we were Black Americans, and then we were Afro Americans, and then we were African Americans. Now we're the Moorish Americans, and we're the Hebrews. We're so split up and divided, we have no force. Because like she said, every time we get split, cut down, and sliced up and diced up like that, there's fewer of us that are recognized for protection. You want to be protected by the federal government that our ancestors helped put in place, not to protect us, but to protect them from the Federation of Fathers that were oppressing them. And people that have listened to me for years, y'all know this already. I have told you how they ran into our communities by the thousands upon thousands because of the way they were being abused by the church. They were being abused. That's why so many of them on the reservations don't look like us anymore, because once a lot of them got there, they started coming up with what are we going to do about all these people that keep running from our communities? Okay, what are we going to do about them? So they started demonizing our communities, to make it okay to oppress us and to exterminate us and to take us out. They started sending in agents that look like them seeking protection and solace, kind of like what's happening now, running across the border, people that are seeking protection and solace. But then there are also the deviants. So they run in there as deviants. They commit all kind of crimes, make sure that people, they're dressed like you. They make sure somebody sees them running away so that your people are blamed for it. Or they say, hey, I witnessed somebody running away and it was one of them, when they're the ones that committed the murder, the rape, or the robbery, or the crime in the first place. So what they have done is we're calling ourselves Bloods and Crips and all kind of other stuff that keeps us so split up and divided that we're having a hard time agreeing to disagree. Oh, we're Muslims, we're Christians. Let's come together, one, as a melanin-rich people first. And the people that are melanin-rich, that are not heirs to here, because you just got here, you're new here, your parents came here, your grandparents came here, and you're only one, two, three generations in, you can side with us or keep siding with the enemy like you've been doing until you get your nigger reality check. Because one day you will get your Negro reality check. Oh, you're just black like these people. Even though you're not these people, we're going to treat you like them because you all look the same to us. So the people that are blood tied to here, that are melanin rich, even those of you that have lost your melanin for whatever reason, oh, I'm trying to be lighter than a brown paper bag, you can legitimately classify yourself as the following and nothing else. Pick one of these, because any one of these will provide you the protections in question. Okay? You can be an American American. You can be an American Indian. You can be an Air Indian. You can be an Amaru Khan. You can be an American Aborigine. You can be an Aborigine of America, an American Aborigine. You can be any of these types of things where you can be an American Autochthon. Find one of those that works for you, or even an Indigenous American, and only one of those. All of those are the heirs to America by blood heritage, by blood right. And the entirety of United States Code Title 25 was written for you, not for Native Americans, even though they're the ones running with the benefits the most. It wasn't written for them. It wasn't written for blacks or whites or black Americans or African Americans or Afro Americans or Negroes or coloreds or Bloods or Crips or Hebrew Israelites or Moorish Americans. It wasn't written for them. It was written for America's Indians. America's Indians. We are on America's superior. America's islands are the West Indies. And oh my God, thank you for the platform that I'm going to provide you. One of the platforms I'm going to provide you in a minute. It's like, I learned something I didn't know. I never knew that Florida and Georgia and several states, Virginia, the Carolinas, so many states are classified by the government as the West Indies. But mainland USA is really, or actually, I think the whole of the mainland, North, Central, South, is India superior. I'm just saying. Always has been. And don't get it twisted with whatever's going on over there from where, and I know I called her a Dravidian, my bad. She's one of these people whose mother and father are blood tied as heirs to Bharat, what is known as India overseas today by Bangladesh, Pakistan over there. She's not one of us. She has nothing to do with here. Not on her mom's side, not on her dad's side. And as much as I have always disagreed with Candace Owens, always, when she came out and stood up for Janet Jackson, I had to go, okay, I like you better now. But are you standing up for us now because you've been what they call it, demonetized and lost your job? Now you're on the, oh, I'm black. Now you remember? Or maybe you always did. I don't know you like that, because I could never agree with anything you had to say, because you were always bashing our people to pander to these others, and it was something I don't like. But I honor the respect for Ms. Jackson. Thank you for standing up for Ms. Jackson. And everybody needs to go find that, because she did 4 parts, Ms. Owens, defending Ms. Jackson. And the further she dug, the more she uncovered Kamala. I'm not playing. Y'all need to think twice Oh, I'm voting for Kamala because she's black. No, she's not. Unless you mean white and bleach up and pale and white in color. However, we are in our own country. We are indigenous Americans. We are American Americans. We are American autochthons. We are Amarucans. We are American Indians. We are Amer Indians. We are Americans Aborigine. We are Aborigines of America or American Aborigines. Any decent law dictionary will tell you that. People go, oh well, the Aborigines are only in Australia. You out your mind. You better go to school again or get more clarity about etymology. Okay, because Aborigines are the indigenous people pretty much everywhere, and we are indigenous to here. We are not indigenous to Africa. Now, if you have an African ancestor, which most of you can't even prove that you do, some of you know you do, that doesn't wipe out all your American, indigenous, Indian, autochthon, Aborigine ancestry. Not even by a long shot. I've already told y'all I have one African male ancestor on my father's side and one African male ancestor on my mother's side. And they hooked up with the indigenous sisters of America. And yes, of America. And for those of y'all that need proof of that, and you need proof and receipts, not somebody is going to do like somebody whose name I won't mention. They'll show a page out of a book and it all looks good, but they'll never let you see the cover. They'll never let you see who the author is. They'll never tell you who wrote this book, which is plagiarism. Plagiarism, it's plagiarism. If you use someone's information and you do not provide who it came from, you've stolen it and you plagiarized it. Unless you at the very least said fair use. And even then you should give the person credit. I got this information out of such and such a book by so-and-so. If you just show the page of the book and you don't show what book is this, who wrote it, what's the name of it, why won't you let us see the cover? You're plagiarizing, and someone should sue you. And a lot of people know who I'm talking about. I'm not going to call him out by name, but there are two brothers out there who bring the proof, the evidence, and the receipts. If you have time, and I don't care what color you are, who you are, why you telling people you niggas are just ashamed to Africa, y'all just ashamed to being black. Go look at these platforms. One is Kurameo Ahau. And here, if you look him up, it's Kurim, as in money or Mexico, EO, Kurameo _ Ahau, AHAU. But if you watch Kurameo and he brings you the receipts, Kurameo, you can follow him along. He'll take you to the channels. He'll take you to the pages. He'll take you to the links. He'll let you see it. He'll read it along with you while you're looking at it. He shows you the book. He shows you the cover. He gives you the author. He shows you the pictures. When it was written. You want proof? His videos are usually long, at least an hour. He only has a couple that are short. However, if you don't have that kind of time, then you need to go and see Brother Sosalinha _YT. And I'm going to assume YT means YouTube. And it's spelled S like Sandy, OSOLIN as in Nevada or never, HA. Sosalinha _YT for YouTube. Go to those channels. Sosalinha's videos are usually quite short, 30 minutes or less. He does have a couple of long ones, just like Kurameo has a couple of short ones. But for people that keep coming at my people with this sideways drama, you Native Americans, you white people, you Mexicans, you Africa, whoever, coming at my nigga sideways, go to those platforms. I'm going to just paint you a big broad brush. I'm not going to sit down and give you the specifics. I'm going to paint a broad enough brush because I've read too many books over the years to remember which book I saw it in, where I saw it, what website I saw it at. And even a lot of websites that things were at have been scrubbed. They're not even out there anymore. Back in the day, you could do a search and you get thousands and thousands and thousands of pages. You could be for days going from page to page to page, clicking on link after link after link in an internet search. Now, you get a handful of 10 or less. And you click, and then you get to some point where you keep clicking back into the same page. What the heck is that about? The information is clearly still out there somewhere, but people are scrubbing it, burying it, and hiding it. So for people that want proof, stop arguing with my people. Go see if what they're telling you is true or not.